Hey everyone, before I get into today's video, I just want to let all the miners know, if you're running an ASIC miner and you're not on the Electroneum algorithm, Electroneum is the most profitable coin to mine with ASICs at the moment. It won't last very long, so I just thought I'd give everyone a heads up. Help the Electroneum network, bring your hashing power over to the ETN algorithm, and earn bigger rewards while it's there. So with that being said, let's get into the video. How's it going everyone? Mick Ambrose from AllAboutTech. Welcome back to another video. Today I bring you the good news that Electroneum's fork was successful, and it went buttery smooth.
Butter.
Unlike my opening sentence just
Butter.
But yeah, I just wanted to highlight what happened in regards to the fork, what's currently going on with the blockchain at the moment, and yeah, let's get straight into it. So, up to leading towards the fork, obviously NiceHash jumped back on the algorithm and really sped up the process of getting to the block height. And just before it reached it, they ditched again. So they weren't going down without a fight, unfortunately. But someone rented hashing power because it sped back up to get through those blocks. I don't know if ETN did it themselves or if someone else did it. But it helped get to the block height at the well. Otherwise, we could have still been waiting, or it would have taken hours longer. But yeah, as soon as ETN forked, obviously all the ASICs started to turn back on, which meant that the difficulty was really low, and the hash rate was growing quite quickly, which meant that a lot of blocks were being mined extremely quickly, and a lot of people were concerned because they were seeing empty blocks. And the main thing with that was it was literally just because the miners were mining so many blocks so quickly, like they're doing blocks in seconds, that there were literally no transactions to put them in. There was no transactions on the blockchain to put them in. So they were literally going too fast. But yeah, so for the next 360 blocks, they were mining as many blocks as they could get. And obviously they were getting a large reward for that as well, because they were mining these blocks in seconds, and each block rewards roughly 11,500 Electroneum. And then once the next 360 blocks has been mined, the difficulty algorithm kicks in, which then brings up the difficulty in line with what the hashing power is, to inline it with the 2-minute blocks. So after that, it will take like another 360 just for it to completely stabilize, and that is what we're seeing now. We're seeing a very smooth blockchain. Transactions are going through very quickly, and Cryptopia have disabled deposits and withdrawals. And what they've done though is they've someone that on one of the Telegram chats said that they tried to, and the statement they gave was that they've currently got all Kryptonite coins on audit. I think they're probably just a bit pissed about all the forks, and they having to do some labor to update all their nodes. But it's all right. They'll reopen eventually. But yeah, it's a really positive move for ETN. The blockchain's running very smoothly, which is fantastic. Some people were saying that they're like it was still quite slow because they had they'd sent like a transaction of ETN, but that was more a case of the centralized system that puts your transaction in a queue. That had a backlog, and they had to catch up with that. But yeah, it's really good. But that shows the instant payment process and how it's going to work put together, how it's putting that into a queue and then being processed onto the blockchain, which I'm going to very quickly diverge into an app update which Electroneum has issued, which no one's talked about yet. So the app update was to fix a few bugs, but mainly it was to revamp the notification system. I'm going to put a picture of the new change. It's going to go in front of me, so you can't see me dancing right now. But yeah, they've changed it so that there's bullet pointed steps within that notification. So you've got, say, for example, what a lot of people were getting confused about was this incoming message. Basically, all that is that when you refresh your wallet, it comes up with this incoming thing. It's an incoming refresh job, basically. No ETN is incoming unless it's your mobile miner. So people were getting excited, but unfortunately, it's just to refresh your wallet. But yeah, it does that with all the transactions now. It does that with the mobile miner transactions, and I think it looks very clean. And the other change they made was they changed the two buttons where it said before it said send and request or send and received, and now it says pay and receive. Which, yeah, that sounds right. Or pay and request, whichever one it is. But they changed the pay one definitely from send to pay. But yeah, it's a clean update. It looks nice. The notification, I really do like that new notification look. And I just thought I'd share it with you guys because no one's spoken about it yet. But moving back to the fork and ASICs, I just want to touch on a couple things in regards to the ASICs. I'm going to put a screenshot now of the mining stats. So ETN is currently at around, and this may change when on the picture that I put up, but the network was at around like just over a gigahash, and then with all the pools, there's like 4 or 5 pools that have a fairly evenly distributed amount of hashing power, and then some of the smaller ones have a bit less, and then obviously there's some private pools that don't come up, but yeah, that just shows ASICs and how the rumor of it being purely a reason for a blockchain to be centralized, it's not entirely true. Before the fork and when Bitmain first produced their ASICs, they would have used them themselves, yes. Because why wouldn't they? Because the equipment's are top notch above everything else, and nobody had forked yet to be resistant to their equipment. So of course they were going to use that equipment first, and they probably made a hell of a lot of profit out of it. But the first thing to that is, while they may have had a hugely dominant amount of hashing power on a network, that doesn't mean that they're going to then just go foul play and start attacking that network, because one, it would ruin their reputation as a mining brand and as a mining manufacturer, etc. They're a big company and they don't want to get sued over it. So there's no reason why they'd attack a network, because it wouldn't exactly be profitable for them, because they're already making a load of profit mining the coin. But when all the coins forked, they then started to flog them off. They then started to sell them really cheaply. So now there's a big distribution of ASICs, which is much better for decentralization. And I'm going to pop a link in the description of an article that Chris Gorman, director of Electroneum, pointed us towards about the truths and the myths of a 51% attack, how realistically easy or hard it is to pull off, and whether or not there's even any substantial amount of benefits to pull off, and if it's even cost efficient. And it's a really good article. It talks about how actually there are many complications in regards to into corresponding and carrying out such an attack on a network. So yeah, that's it for the ASIC talk. I'm excited because I would get an ASIC, but unfortunately it's just a bit out of my price range, and I was never going to buy a GPU rig because I was never going to spend that amount of money for equipment that may become obsolete the next day. But no, it's really good for the network. It's really good for Electroneum's partners because now they can see stability and speed, a high hash rate, which, like I said, when the difficulty algorithm stabilizes, the block rewards go back to what it should normally be. So there's not extra ETN being mined as to what it was when ASICs first came back to the network because the difficulty was so low. But yeah, let's look at the positives from this. We're now gaining a very stable network, a very stable blockchain, sorry. Coinbean has announced their listing. They got rid of their tweet, but they've retweeted it now, so it is definitely happening. Which they've stated by the end of July, which is great. Which that's going to counteract any selling that ASICs may do in the first place. A lot of GPU miners were dumping their coins as well, to be fair. So it's just going to be the norm. If these big mining rigs, whether it's ASICs or whether it's GPUs, these big rigs, they need to turn over a profit. So they need to pay off the electricity for it. Maybe these big mining farms, they have staff to pay, they have property rent to pay. So a lot of the GPU mining as well as the ASIC mining will sell their coins. But what will counteract that is trade volume from large exchanges, which obviously Coinbean is a massive exchange. So that's going to try and counteract that, hopefully. They were talking about how they did this fork urgently for the partners. So hopefully we're going to hear about some more partnerships soon. That'll be absolutely fantastic. And to close it off for the video, I reached 3,000 subs yesterday, and it's just absolutely mental. I want to thank every single person that's been supporting the channel, that's been watching all my videos, that's been commenting on all my videos, and it's been absolutely amazing. I truly love this community, and I love making videos for this community, and I will continue to make videos for this community because I am part of the community. That I'm gonna put something there, but yeah. Sorry if that was cringy, but like the video, guys. I really appreciate it. It doesn't cost you anything. Yeah, it helps me massively. Subscribe to the channel. Again, it costs you absolutely nothing. Yeah, it helps me an absolute ton. And I'll catch you guys out in the next video. Peace out.